Welcome back to K-DramasEchoes, your sanctuary for stories written in soft pauses, hidden meanings, and the quiet emotions that slip through the spaces between two people. Today, we revisit a story that refuses to fade, a connection that seems to rise again every few months as if carried by some unseen wind. This is not just about fame or coincidence. It is about two names, Tong Liya and Jerry Yen, that keep brushing against each other in the public consciousness, echoing with a familiarity that began years ago and has somehow refused to disappear. Tong Liya did not set out to trend. She did not seek the spotlight, nor was she trying to show the world anything other than a simple moment of joy. Her recent holiday to Malaysia was meant to be quiet, personal, and healing. She walked through the colorful steps of Bata Caves with her son, sharing laughter, taking photos that felt warm and unscripted. She fed pigeons, watched monkeys hop around tourists, and allowed herself to be just a mother. No pressure, no roles, no rehearsed smiles. These were the kinds of moments celebrities desperately try to protect. But peace rarely survives the speed of the internet. Within hours, social media overflowed with comments. People noticed her glow, her softness, her comfort in being away from the noise of her career. But as the photos spread, another name resurfaced, Jerry Yen. It was almost instantaneous, like an instinct fans couldn't suppress. Even though he was nowhere near Malaysia, the online world found a way to link him back to her. Some fans asked innocent questions. Some repeated old rumors. And some confidently proclaimed that Tong Liya's happiness must have had something to do with Jerry Yan's presence in her life, even though there was no evidence of such a thing. It was as if their story, or rather the fantasy of it, had simply been waiting for an excuse to return. This reaction didn't come from nowhere. It came from the memory of a drama that touched millions. When Tong Liya and Jerry Yen acted together in Loving, Never Forgetting, they created a chemistry that felt almost dangerous. Not loud, not forceful. Dangerous in the way it made people feel like they had stumbled upon something private. Their scenes were filled with the kind of emotion that doesn't come from following a script. The way their eyes softened when they looked at each other, the pauses between their words, the quiet tension that wrapped around their characters, it all felt too real, too raw, too intimate. People didn't watch them. People believed them. And once belief takes root, it becomes something else, something the world refuses to abandon. Years passed, their lives moved forward, but the storyline the audience wrote for them stayed frozen in time. And every time their names appear in the news, even for unrelated reasons, fans revive the fantasy of them being together. In the world of celebrity culture, some pairings are built from scandals. Some are built from marketing. But Tong Liya and Jerry Yan's connection was built from emotion, from the authenticity of two performances that aligned so perfectly it felt like fate had stepped onto the set. Tong Liya's personal life itself only deepened this fascination. Her divorce from Chen Xiqing was a turning point, one she navigated with grace, restraint, and quiet courage. She didn't expose wounds. She didn't create drama. She didn't parade her pain for public sympathy. Instead, she stepped out of a long, complicated chapter and chose peace. After the divorce, she became different. Not bitter or hardened, but freer. She moved with softness. She chose roles more selectively. She traveled more often. She spent more meaningful time with her son. She began living a life that felt like it belonged to her again. People noticed this change. They saw her glow differently, as though she had finally taken off a weight she had been carrying for years. And because the public can never resist attaching a woman's happiness to romance, many assumed, incorrectly, that Jerry Yen must be involved somehow. It didn't matter that there was no proof. It didn't matter that they hadn't been photographed together. It didn't matter that both of them maintained separate paths. The world prefers stories that feel poetic, even if they are untrue. The recent set incident only added fuel to this ever-burning narrative. When Tong Liya appeared irritated because fans of Jerry Yen crowded a filming location, disrupting the work environment, the internet twisted the moment instantly. She wasn't upset because of Jerry himself. She was upset because she was trying to work professionally while fans created chaos. But online theorists turned her annoyance into evidence of a deeper relationship. Some claimed she cared because they were secretly close. Others claimed they were secretly together and fighting. Some even suggested that her irritation meant she had emotional expectations from him. In truth, she was simply a working actress dealing with an inconvenient situation. But the internet no longer sees Tong Liya and Jerry Yan as individuals. It sees them as fragments of a story it desperately wants to be real. Jerry Yan doesn't help the situation, though not intentionally. His entire persona is built on mystery, silence, and emotional distance. He has always been the celebrity who appears and vanishes on his own terms. He keeps his personal life locked behind an unbreakable wall of privacy. He rarely clarifies anything. He rarely denies anything. He rarely corrects anything. This silence gives the public an endless playground for imagination. His past love life has been dissected relentlessly, especially his romantic history with Lin Qiling. Because he never explains, people fill the gaps with whatever story comforts them. And the story that comforts many is the one where he and Tong Liya share a hidden bond. But reality is gentler, quieter, and less dramatic. Tong Liya is focusing on her child and her healing journey. Jerry Yan continues to work, protect his privacy, and move through life like a shadow, present but untouchable. There is no hidden marriage, no secret romance, no quiet home they share away from cameras. The love story that fans cling to exists only in imagination, not in verified truth. Yet the public refuses to let go, not because of denial but because of how their pairing made people feel. Some on-screen couples become unforgettable not because they fall in love, but because they show a version of love people yearn for. Tong Liya and Jerry Yan created a tender, aching, almost wistful emotional landscape that settled into viewers' hearts. They became a symbol of the relationships that feel possible but remain unexplored. A symbol of timing that never aligned. A symbol of two souls who could have been something more if the universe had shifted differently. Some connections aren't meant to happen in real life. Some stories burn brighter when left untouched. And some pairings become legends precisely because they never become real. They remain suspended in that delicate space between fantasy and memory. Tong Liya and Jerry Yan's legacy is not one built on truth or confirmation. It is built on emotion, on the chemistry of a drama that created a lasting ripple in the hearts of millions. Their names continue to rise together not because of what is happening, but because of what once happened. On screen, in a moment, in a story that felt too tender to forget. And so, even today, their connection continues to echo. Quietly, persistently, beautifully.